PewPewNationTV, your host Armando here again with you guys. Hope you guys had a fantastic week. Today, we are going to talk about a few things, if you will, but just wanted to get a couple of disclaimers out of the way. The information that I have come across lately bears to reason. Is it factual? Is it rumor? Is it, I don't know, false? Well, I can tell you this. There's a lot of rumors going around right now because of our current situation. I am here to tell you today that based on my sources, okay, I've been privy to a few things which are at this point unverifiable. If there's any truth out there, but you know, I have to be sensitive to YouTube's community guideline standards, okay, if you will. So there are certain things that I can't talk about here, but I'll let you fill in the blanks. You know, I'll keep it safe for that matter. But today, what secret spy Cuban base are they talking about? That seems to be the latest buzz in the news right now. Well, I can tell you this. This is nothing new, if in fact it is a thing, okay? Why can I say that? Well, I'll give you a little bit of historical background, if you will. And this is out there. You can find this on Google. So this is not misinformation or anything like that. Okay, you can actually look for it. It's there. Trust me. I'm going to go back to 1959 when the revolution happened down in Cuba. As most of you know, if you follow me on the channel, being of Cuban descent, myself, I lived there. I experienced the whole revolution and the living under that type of regime and situation. The Russians, when they had complete occupancy, you know, back in those days, there was a communications, I'm going to say underground base. And this was in an area outside of Havana, which is very high in altitude. It was very famous for photographers to go out there and take pictures of, you know, because they had a very, very clear view of, you know, the island in itself, the ocean and stuff like that. So it was a photographer's paradise of the time, if you will. This place was called La Loma del Burro, which translated means, you know, hill of the donkey. Okay, hill of the donkey. In the province of Santi Espiritu. Okay. There's going to be a picture I'm going to roll on this here pretty soon. So you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and what it looks like. It was in a very lower income to somewhat middle class neighborhood in this area of Havana. Not many tourists ventured there, just local photographers. Like I said, every now and then one would trickle through. This was information that was passed down to me by my immediate family. And the Russians at that time had a spy base there. Okay. And it's basically buried underneath the granite, you know, in the hill. It's embedded in there. It's not, again, no new secret, no big deal. So when I got, you know, word of this new secret Cuban spy base, you know, going in there, I started thinking, well, really isn't a secret, you know. The Russians actually never really left. They kind of hung around a little bit, but not that much. Okay. But now, apparently, they are starting to ramp up a so-called secret spy base, if that's even a thing. I don't know. I can tell you this. If, in fact, that is true, okay, that this is happening, I'm going to assume that they'll probably use this location and basically bring it up to standards, up to current technology needs, you know, with the latest and greatest tech that's out there for communication purposes, right? So they can monitor calls, they can monitor email, they can monitor whatever chatter is out there, you know, coming 90 miles away from the United States. Now, some of you guys out there, I know that you've reached out to me because of this topic that's been in the news, being how Cuba came up, and it's like, yeah, well, Armando's got to know something, right? Well, whatever. The only thing that I can gather from this, and again, it's just strictly my opinion, is, I can tell you this, you're not going to find, like you did back during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where they are going to fortify this place with, missile launchers and, that kind of stuff, because obviously we have satellite systems up in the sky that we monitor everything and all activity that's going on down there on the island. And they would stick out like a sore thumb, like they did back during that era. That ain't happening. I don't believe it will. Why? Well, we have modern technology today. If they do happen to come in there, okay, and set up shop, along with the Chinese, and I'm going to go somewhere with this also as well. It'll be Russia and China also. I'm almost certain of it, and I'm going to get to that here in a second, and you'll understand. I'm going to gather to say that there'll probably be airplane hangars, with their, fighter jets that have the capability of arming, what they call those hypersonic missiles, where they have a very short time frame of flight based on the distance of, 90 miles. Think about that for a minute, right? How long would it take for them to hit? Minutes, basically. Plus communications and stuff. I think this is more a communications post, if you will. Now, why would you ask, why would this be happening? Well, it's simple. A little bit more history here. Cuba's economy is in the toilet. They're basically starving to death down there. There's a very, very short supply of food. Their currency is devalued. It's in the toilet. Actually, they started out with a currency which was the Cuban peso. Then they added to the Cuban peso, which was called CUC. Okay, that was their coined currency that they invented. That currency, their coinage was basically, some say it was, plastic, Teflon, Kevlar, whatever. I've seen some of it in pictures only, and I can tell you it looked like freaking Monopoly money, really, is basically what it was. And they got along a little bit with that for a change, dealing with Venezuela. But of course, Venezuela kind of like left them out there. They get very little oil in from them because Cuba basically is to the point now where they have no way to repay their debts. Okay, so they basically kept the Cuban peso alive. They dumped the CUC because nobody wanted it. No country accepted it as being a legitimate form of currency, and it was backed by nothing, really. And they decided to go back to the dollar. Okay. Problem is that when the pandemic happened, tourism stopped. Canadian tourism, which is important, I'm going to hit that here in just a second, stopped a lot, along with European tourism as well, right? And things just went bad. They just really did. So they're kind of desperate. So what a better way to bring in the Russians, bring in the Chinese, and have them come on board BRICS also as well. Why? Well, they're really not going to be dealing with the dollar. The dollar's in trouble, right? And since everybody else on the bandwagon, it has jumped the bandwagon basically and jump on board with BRICS, especially those other countries, what a better way to get, their economy back on par, using Chinese currency, using Russian currency, start getting food importations from Russia, from China, and still from Canada also as well. Yeah, they are going to be getting some because, Canada has partnered with Cuba forever, basically. But like I said, tourism is down, so they got to do something. And as a matter of fact, they're still on lockdown right now as far as tourism is concerned. It's very little to almost none. So getting back to the base, if in fact that this is a thing and this is where they're setting up shop, I assure you that all they're doing is just getting their tech from way back when, back up to modern day specs. Okay. And if they do decide to arm that place, it'll be planes, with these hypersonic missiles. And this is all, opinion. Because like I said, we will be on them like stink on shit, basically, and they'll be exposed, and so much for that. And what we don't want is another repeat of, the Cuban Missile Crisis that we had back then, because that would be pretty bad. And that would put a lot of stress under our current administration right now, or any other administration for that matter. So let's jump on over, and I'm going to give you tidbits here on the current state of, where we're at, what I see, what I've heard. So that's pretty much it for Cuba, guys. I mean, that's just where we're at. We'll see, and, we'll find out if, in fact, they do play the secret spy base card. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, next, Canada. Let me just hit on Canada here real quick. Obviously, everybody out there has seen the satellite imagery, clips of the wildfires that started out there. You had 5 wildfires, from my understanding, is that basically where thousands of kilometers away from each other, and they simultaneously all flared up at the same time. Again, there are rumors floating around out there that there was eyewitness accounts to helicopters of what origin, don't know, that actually were spraying or using flamethrowers to ignite these fires. It was executed simultaneously at the same time. Again, this is out there for everybody to find, so this is no, misinformation or conspiracy or whatever the hell you want to call it. Truth of the matter is, from what I've heard from the community, okay, is that Canada is undergoing some serious changes right now. So why the fires? Well, very simply put, most intelligent people, especially those that have lived under communism, know for a fact that the place that you do not want to be when you're living under that kind of establishment is in your large metropolitan areas, your inner cities. Why? Because of control, right? They will control food, they'll control currency, they'll control people a lot better and a lot more efficient than they would those that live in remote areas. Okay, I have family that still lives down there, that live out in the middle of nowhere on the western side of the island, out in the country. They grow their own food. They raise what little livestock that they can. They got homes, they got access to fresh water and stuff like that. So they get by. Okay. Now, if you live in Centro Havana, which is basically the innards of, Havana, life is a little bit more tougher. You have a lot more observation, which is basically your neighborhood snitches that will report you to the government, including some of your very own family members, speaking from experience, that will turn you in if you don't comply or bow down to the ruling class. And that's factual. Again, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that to be true. So again, this is not misinformation, if you will. This is actual fact. So it's tougher to get supplies in, just basic needs for getting by and living normal, right? The problem is that a lot of these people that are in charge don't have a need really to travel out to the countryside to go get supplies and food, because they're the only ones that have access, to whatever it is, to sustain life as a human being. They have access to it. All right. The commoners, all right, the regular folk, it's tougher for them, to have access to these needs. So they do okay. So Canada, going back to that, it's my opinion, I think that the reason that these fires were done, which are mysterious in nature to begin with, because we're still a month or two away from fire season, if you will, up there. And any of you Canadians that are out there in my audience that are listening to me, please drop some comments down below and just update me if what I'm saying about Canada, if you know anything. Is it fact? Is it not fact? Is it, whatever? But let me know, because like I said, I'm just getting stuff coming across my radar, and I don't know. I just don't know. They're good sources. It's good information. I know some of it to be rock solid, but again, that's not for here. That's not for the platform right now. But think about this for a minute. A lot of you out there have probably heard of the 15-minute cities. Okay, that is a thing. It's out there already. Everybody knows it. So what a better way for people that live remotely, that are living off the land, okay, that are kind of like flying underneath the radar, What a better way to get those people out of there, ruin their livestock, their crops, or whatever have you, which is going to affect Canada's food supply to some sort, okay, and herd those people into the inner cities, the more controlled populated areas. Makes sense, right? I mean, that's common sense. That is just the only thing that I can come of it. So let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with that. That's just my observation. I think that's why this happened. Okay. The other thing about Canada is this, and this is something that, again, for this platform, it is my opinion that Prime Minister Trudeau has left Canada and is somewhere in the Ukraine. And there is rumors going around that he may not return. Now, whatever. I'm sure Canadians are happy about that one. But anyway, it's just my opinion. He could be over there visiting. He could be over there, trying to negotiate whatever it is that, leaders do, right? I don't know. But he's over there, and that would be a really shitty place to go to, in my opinion, because of the current conditions of that country right now. I mean, these guys are war-torn, to hell and back. But anyway, it's been reported that he's over there. And one of his right-hand people, okay, who is very much up there in the Canadian government, has also kind of fallen from grace, if you will. In other words, they're not really in the public spotlight. There's also rumors that there either has been or there currently is tribunals going on right now in Canada, which, if this is in fact true, it could poise good news for the Canadian people, meaning that regime change might be coming soon. Okay, because of the Prime Minister's popularity. You really don't see too much of him out in public. Same could be said for leaders around the globe right now, where they're not in the public eye's favor. Okay, where they're really keeping themselves out of the public spotlight, out of scrutiny, out of rebellion, or for their own safety, for that matters. But again, you have to use common sense here. Another thing that I got wind of, and this is, again, no secret, this has already been out even on the mainstream media, is that George Soros's son has now taken over operations for whatever sector of their open society networks, all of their organizations, and with a lot of influence in the World Economic Forum as well, that he has taken now full control. He's already met with Vice President Harris and other leaders or people in power. Now, why is that? Well, there's rumors out there again floating around that Soros died. Okay, I've been told that he actually died about 10 years ago. And what you're seeing of him when you do see him out in public is basically all after the fact, not live, not current, and it is computer enhanced, technology, or AI, all right, which is a big thing today as well. Is this true? Don't know. Is it bullcrap? I don't know. It could very well be. But the fact of the matter is, his kid is now running the operation. So you connect the dots, you figure that one out. Where are we? You also have now Bill Gates, who has now traveled to China. Why? Negotiations? Do they have another pandemic, in the works? And what I mean by that, is it real estate? Is it buying up more, food producing facilities? Is it just more, I don't know, propaganda? I have no idea. Fact of the matter is, he's over there, right? Visiting. Folks, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to be long with this one today. All right. I just wanted to update you guys because of emails that I have gotten. You guys have been asking a lot of questions on a lot of things that are going on right now. So again, I'm just giving you my opinion, okay, on stuff. The way I see it is like this. there is no more colored pills, if you will. All right, you always had one of red and one of blue. I don't believe that there is any, one is on back order, the other one, nobody wants it because everybody's already had it. I do believe that there is one. Okay, it's the black one. And why black? Well, black because of the fact that, you have a situation where, like, let me see if I can bring this up real quick here, if you don't mind. This was H.L. Mencken. Every normal man must be tempted at times to spit on his hands, hoist a black flag, and begin slitting throats. Okay, that was references that were made by Edward Teach, also as well, Blackbeard the pirate. Everybody knows that story. Well, why black? Because I believe that this is no longer a red or blue issue. This is no longer political. This is spiritual. I believe that we are in the middle of World War III. I believe that what we are fighting here is a spiritual battle, not your typical, battlefield scenario like you would see in a movie, out of Hollywood. That's not happening. This is cyber. This is, comms. This is, currency, and also social. Okay, social as well. I believe that we're in the middle of this. And things are starting to change. And everything changed after mission wasn't completely accomplished by the globalists, which was, March of 2020. Okay. That really did not materialize the way that they wanted it to. So they are behind schedule. They're basically retooling. They went back to the drawing board to figure out, what the next diversion, the next distraction is. Again, in my opinion, everybody right now, the main distraction right now is everybody's freaking out over the 45, trial and the indictments and all that nonsense that's going on. Do they have some stuff there? I don't know. 37 indictments. They've got some pretty hard pressing evidence, going against 45. Now, what's weird about this is that I've been looking at the clips of, the proceedings and what's been going on, and he doesn't look shaken. He doesn't look nervous at all. I mean, he could be good at hiding it. I don't know, but he doesn't look worried at all. So I drew my own conclusion, and I think, in my opinion, because of where we are at right now, here in June of 2023, 46 is not doing too well. The left knows this, the right knows this, the world knows this. I mean, he has, I believe mental issues, he has issues with motor skills. He can't hold a cognitive, speech sentence for that matter very long without having a problem. And he's old. I get it. And from a human being's perspective, you kind of have to feel for the guy a little bit, right? Because you really don't want anybody to go through that. But it is what it is, right? The bottom line is this. And the right's trying to draw up articles of impeachment and stuff like that. You don't want that. If you do want it, and you do go forth with it, and I don't think it's going to work, not only do you have to get him, you also have to get the VP. Okay? Because if 46 goes, the VP will not take his spot. Their own party doesn't even want that. Okay? Again, based on poll numbers, based on commentary in the mainstream media, they all say the same thing. Her poll numbers are actually lower than Joe's, than the big guy himself. They're actually lower. All right? Could they be making a play with Newsom to possibly step in? Again, anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. What are the probabilities of that? Kind of low, I think, right now. I don't think that's the plan. So, where am I going with this? I think that these 37 indictment charges that they have brought up on 45, what my gut tells me and from what I can tell and what I can see is that this is being orchestrated. It's being orchestrated because remember, all of these House Senate committee hearings and all these things against the FBI and everything else that they're bringing up, nothing may come of it. But one thing that will happen is that this is now in and on record, meaning it could be brought up at a future date and be pursued again. Let that sink in, okay? Meaning that if this doesn't go in their favor and Trump is acquitted on everything, okay, that also goes down on record. So what happens with that? This can be brought up later on against 46 because there's damning evidence against him, right? And his son also as well. Again, opinion, speculation, whatever you want to call it. For me, strategically, okay, with my background, it just makes sense. So that could very well be what's at play here. I can tell you that the left right now they're panicking. They're panicking because they're losing this fight. They are losing it. Trust me. They're in panic mode right now. They are throwing shit up against the wall to see what sticks. Okay, and that's exactly what they're doing. I will say that be very prepared because we will be tested. In my opinion, we will be tested. The currency situation with the CBDC, being fully implemented by July, which is next month, that's concerning. That's really concerning. I hear also as well that August will be the month where a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things are going to be unmasked, if you will, and a lot of truths are going to be put out there. What they are, I have no idea. All I can tell you here is be prepared. Be prepared. Make sure that you are good to go at home. Make sure your finances are in order. Make sure you're stocked up on food, water, whatever you need for basic human survival, first aid kits, communications, all that stuff along those lines. We are living in very, very violent times right now, not just here in this country, on a global scale. Okay, on a global scale. And it's very fluid. This thing changes daily. It changes daily. So just be prepared, guys. All right, just be prepared. Stay safe. I just wanted to bring you these tidbits today. If you guys have any comments that you want to leave, please leave the comments down below. I basically don't have any links to share with you guys today as far as, where to go, what to do, what to look at and stuff like that. Because today was more a video about an update. So that being said, if you're getting value out of this video today, please do me a big favor. Smash that like button on the bottom, share, subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, make sure you click on that activation bell down there so that way whenever I do a new video, you will get a message notifying you that a new drop has happened. We are on guys, I need your help here, okay? I am on a mission to get to 5,000 subscribers by July 4th this year. Where I'm trending right now, it's going to be kind of, it's going to be tight, but we'll see. I have faith in you guys, okay, that I'll get as much, support that I can. Again, it's free, won't cost you anything. If you care to support the channel, you can go to Patreon. Up on top there on the right-hand side is link for Patreon, links for Buy Me a Coffee. You can also hit the join button right down there below, and you can pick an option. I basically restructured the memberships to the channels. I restructured those to make them cheaper. Okay, so that way anybody can basically join, and all your support will be greatly, greatly appreciated. I will drop this announcement for you. I am currently in the works right now. I tried to go to an alternate platform, and I had announced it here before to bring you content that, that doesn't have the same, that doesn't meet the guidelines of this platform. Okay, so basically it's okay to talk about whatever there. That didn't pan because of financial difficulties. They're ramping up that, and it just didn't go anywhere. So I am currently in the works. I'm just going to drop this out here today. Okay, another new announcement. studio audience is fired up about that one, right? I am going to be putting together my platform. You heard it right. It's going to be a website, basically with all the bells and whistles, where I'll be able to upload content that is not community guideline, strict. You won't have that strictness that this platform does. Just out of fairness, that way I can keep everything safe and I can keep everything, copacetic, and nobody gets all their, gets their undies, tied up in a knot. That is currently in the works right now. Announcement will be coming in the near future. Okay. There's a lot of other factors at play here that I have to put my hands on to make sure that everything is good to go. So I'll be making future announcements on when the release date, the official release date, will be on that. So with that, I will let you guys go. Thank you for chiming in, for checking out the video. Another drop will be following soon. It will be another review video on some more gear that I'm going to be doing. Make sure that you guys, again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It will be greatly, greatly appreciated. So, as always, remember, keep your powder dry, keep your head on the swivel. God bless, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Thanks, everyone, for watching today. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Most importantly of all, make sure that you click the activation bell down below, okay, to get notification on future videos. Make sure you head on over and check out Jeff at Freedom to Think and give him a checkout, if you will. All right. He's got great music video reactions that are just spot on, and you may see me there from time to time also as well. He'll greatly appreciate a sub also, by the way. Subscribe to his channel. Very important to help this guy out. He's on a march to get up to 100,000 subs, and he's on his way. See you on the next one. Take care.